I believe the first company is FutureLink Technologies. Is a rep for FutureLink here? Excellent. And that's Vincent Tumwijukye. Can we give him a round of applause? The floor is yours.
A very good afternoon to you all. My name is Vincent Tumwijukye, and I'm here to present the opportunity that we're building for Africa, a new way of accessing financial services. So FutureLink Technologies is Africa's community-driven marketplace for financial services. We have had enough of talk about financial access. With the mobile money penetration in Africa, we have had mobile money account, wallet accounts really going through the roof. But there is an emerging barrier to financial inclusion that has two faces. One is the affordability, the high cost of the available financial services, and the other is the irrelevance of financial services that are provided. We cure that by having a two-sided platform. On one side, helping the consumer to access and choose the most relevant and affordable financial services, while on this other side, we have financial cooperatives that are able to acquire and retain customers, mobilize savings, and grow transaction revenues, and dramatically reduce the cost of operations to 10%. This we are able to do. We've been running for the last 2 years, and we have already 170 institutions on one platform with 129,000. We have already grown profitability with annual recurring revenue of 730,000. We are profitable. The last 4 quarters, we've been growing profitability by 100% quarter on quarter. And this is really confidence and proof that this is the much needed way of accessing financial services and including everyone. So our business model is that you have digital subscribers. These digital subscribers pay every time they transact, and this can be a deposit, a withdrawal, accessing credit, accessing other services like credit reference bureaus to enable the loan origination. So every time the person transacts, we earn a small fee, which is really relatively affordable. The other aspect, the B2B pay licenses. So there is the initial license, which ideally they pay based on the services that they want to get, and then annually they subscribe by paying 20% of the original license. This we've been able to prove that it is the much needed way to include everyone, keep the cost low of onboarding, and with these two sides, we maintain this framework of building value through our flywheel. As you can see on the top, upgrade the platform to enable the financial cooperatives design relevant and affordable financial services. And then to the next slide, upgrade the platform to enable the consumer find the relevant and affordable financial services and do direct marketing to drive traffic, subscribers to come to the platform. And with more subscribers coming to the platform, the SACCOs or the credit unions are able to then acquire the many needed customers, mobilize savings, grow transaction revenues while they are growing profitability. That is an incentive to invite other credit unions, and with more credit unions coming onto the platform, you have more relevant and affordable financial services for the consumer. And that in itself attracts the consumer to come to the platform, and then the flywheel begins again by us enabling them to do more by adding other services. This has a powerful effect in that it is able to produce network effects, and we've seen our the annual customer value of the B2B grow from 1,600 in August last year to 2,300 at the end of the year. We are raising 2.4 million. We already have 250 already committed in debt from one of the investors, Yungo Capital. And this we are looking for to expand and scale our operations in Uganda and Zambia, Tanzania, and then come to Kenya. We believe that this is a better model than just a banking as a service platform, because we, in addition to a banking as a service platform, we drive the strategy of the institutions that work with us, and our incentives for growth are aligned with our partners. We believe that the flywheel has the power to lock in the customer with a retention of 100% as for the last 2 years, and for the B2C, that is the consumer, we have retained customers at 89% as an annual retention. Thank you very much, and we are available. I will be available after the session to speak with any of you who would be interested in this opportunity. Thank you.
Let's give a round of applause for this presentation. Vincent, sorry. Excellent. I'll give it up to the judges, starting with Nubi there. Any questions?
Yeah, well done. Very good pitch. I'm just curious, like, so that I'm getting, you're building software for SACCOs to better operate. Is that it? I mean, I know I'm oversimplifying it, but is that at the heart of it, is that what you do? You're providing software, so account provisioning, savings, helping SACCOs better operate and serve their customers. Would that be the?
Yes, so we go beyond just software. So part of the offering to the financial institutions, yes, is software, but software deployed in a business model that enables them focus at their core to think about the community. So it is software in the cloud, a banking as a service platform. But in addition, what the SACCOs need is really not software. So in addition to software, we go to the consumer. So in Uganda, for example, we have the central bank license, which enables us now to engage directly with the consumer to inform their choice and drive strategy.
All right, and that then leads me to my question around just as the business model then. So how does that work? You're offering the service to the SACCOs, but then you're also going direct to consumer as well. So what's the business model there for you guys?
Exactly. So it's a very delicate balance, which we have been able to perfect, because on one side you have the consumer who has need for choice, because the biggest challenge that we have, which is compounding the problem of financial exclusion, is that people do not have visibility of the available options. So you want to open an account, you will be able to download the MSACCO app, and you are able to actually see the profitability of the institutions that you want to choose from. You are able to see the credit rates. You are able to see the ledger fees and all that, and you can make a decision, open an account, and through our AI process, upload the national ID, and we take care of the rest. We validate those credentials, and you open an account, pay, and start transacting. So that is now to the consumer. But the B2B, who are the SACCOs and microfinance, they want the customer. And they want the customer in such a way that their cost of customer acquisition is low. And that is what we address. So it's benefiting both sides. So each side has its own value proposition, and we have really curated that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cool. So this is weird, trying to talk and facing you at the same time. But so curious to hear any competitors either in the market or internationally, or how would you say your position against similar, if any, products or any other competitors that you can speak to?
Great question. So this is the first time that we are having something similar to this in the financial services. In fact, in 2022, we are happy to be the first African country to win the Diamond Product Innovation of the Year from the IFC World Bank and the Global SME Finance Forum for pioneering a new way of accessing financial services. So what we have is really companies that are competing in one aspect of our work. So you have the banking as a service platforms like Quara here, but these BaaS companies are promoting just technology. And we feel that the world does not need technology. The world needs really the benefit. The world needs really a tangible inclusion of the people. And technology alone without a business model that incentivizes everyone that is part of the stakeholder, is just really an event, but it is not able to sustain a story of transformation. So that is really the difference that we have. The other alternative competitor is the commercial banks, because perhaps the commercial banks are not interested in changing the status quo and empowering the consumer to actually influence the design, the delivery, and the pricing of financial services. So another competitor could be the commercial banks, and we are happy to take on that.
Great presentation. I'm really curious about, because you talked about impact on the financial institutions and delivering what they really need. Can you help me articulate that in numbers? So like you talked about increasing their costs, decreasing their cost of operations, increasing their savings base. Like, what is the before and after? Like an institution before they've worked with you, how much more has the AUM increased? How much more credit are they pushing out? What are their costs before and after you?
Great. So part of our impact is, savings per capita. So for the last 1 year, we've seen the savings per capita grow from, in Ugandan shillings, is 300,000. That is an equivalent of about, so it grew from 280,000. That's an equivalent of about $80 to 310. That's about $90. So it's a very small increment, but it demonstrates really our awareness of the people, because at the end of the day, financial inclusion comes back to the ability of the people to participate in a fair financial system, not access. And that access, in our view, must be measured within the resilience capability, and savings make part of that. So these are some of the metrics that we actually keep track of. Additionally, we have also the climate change response. As you can see, we have about 700,000 people who are actually being supported on our ecosystem. Of course, some still use the cash, but these 700,000, enabling these 170 institutions with a branch network of 313 across the country. We are enabling them to handle green financing reporting, and this is really the kind of transformation that is, going down to the rural, and it is sustainable because everyone is really participating.
One final one. Why are you a better acquirer of customers than SACCOs?
Yes, so you have, these SACCOs come as, they emerge as a way of identity of a people. So a certain group of people come together to come up with their self-identity. So they begin from a point in their life, either as an employee of an organization. But these people are not static. They move on. They move on to the next stage. They change, geography. They may have joined a SACCO in a rural setting, but they are no longer now a farmer. They have moved on to the city. But they have been separated from their community because of the geography. So we are able to enable them to join their community regardless of where they are, any time of their choice in their journey, and keep money where they want it to be. So we are a better acquirer because of the ability for the consumer to actually join at any time, anywhere they are. But also additionally, unlike a SACCO, we provide the ability to choose. So a SACCO will not give you a profile of other 5 institutions from which you can choose. So the customer is able to actually make comparison and is able to choose. So the consumer loves us better than they would ordinarily go to a particular SACCO.
I want to give them.
Vincent, thank you so much, and congrats on your good work. So my question is around your market expansion. You mentioned Zambia, Tanzania. I don't remember the third country, but I've worked in both of the two, and I'm just curious to know why these markets, and maybe if you could just kind of give us an idea of what your expansion strategy looks like. That would be very interesting to know. Great.
So we try as much as possible to avoid following people. We want to enter markets where we can participate in the definition of rules. And we feel that markets that have, the greater need of financial inclusion, is where to start. Uganda, Zambia, Tanzania really are great places for us to actually play, because we are able to contribute the building up of a fair financial system. We also know that Kenya here, a lot of people are still really excluded. I've had the opportunity to be in Laikipia County, and I know that in this country, when we talk about SACCOs, there are about 20 SACCOs that actually speak for the entire industry, but a lot of people are still excluded. So yes, we shall come to Kenya after we are done with those three markets. So it's really the guide of where the greatest need is and where we can actually be visible in defining the rules.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. Another round of applause. And at this point, I usually engage in what I call a judge face tea leaf reading. I think I see some smiles there. We'll leave